Okay, I'm back. So I have the main camera has a little flip lens that I use to see exactly. So I'm looking straight down the barrel most of the time, sometimes, and I didn't have it flipped correctly. So anyway, I am done with Ralph. I can't believe it. After all this time, there he is, and I think he turned out great. I'm really happy with him. I'm now working on his good twin, Ralphie. When last we saw was looking like this. So I'm cutting out all his little pink areas, and then I'm gonna sew up his head and his hands today. And what else do I have? I have his eyes. There's his eyes, which I'm gonna have to put I probably won't be able to do it today, but I'll do it on camera tomorrow. I'm gonna use this technique that BJ uses, where he uses baking soda and super glue to make a post. Unfortunately, I don't have the post or the baking soda. I do have the super glue, but it makes like a really rock hard kind of paste that you can get the bolts in. And then I'm gonna bore a hole and put the eyes on there permanently. I think that's the easiest way to secure them. And all these other holes really were useless now. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow. And I have his body, which is somewhat done, and I have his hands, and his sleeves are not put together, but this is his material for it. So I've got a lot of pieces. I also have enough red fabric now to do all of his hair. So I think probably tomorrow is going to be getting the eyes on and starting 3 days of putting the hair on, and then he'll be done. So I'm hoping to get everything else done today, if I can, at least a good chunk of it. And hopefully, because I did some of this off camera before the build of Ralph off camera, since I'm building his good twin, you can see the parts I missed. I didn't live stream. It's one of the reasons why I was like, oh, I'm going to be doing this again tomorrow. So I can do some of this off camera. And then I think I might finish Roberta, which I've had her head on the wall for about 4 years now, not finished. It sounds kind of disgusting, but I've had her incomplete head up on the wall over there, and I think I'll finish her, and then maybe I'll. This is going to be a whole new world for Melonpool, because I could possibly have all these puppets done finally. It'd be great. I think I'm also going to pop the eyes off Sam and paint those so they're nice and crisp and put those back on. And then he'll be done. I have both the Ralphs. I'll have Roberta. And then I'll have Sammy. Sammy will probably be the last one, but I'm also going to retrofit Mayberry to upgrade his. I'm going to make a thin body like this for Mayberry, and I'm going to put. I'm going to update his sleeves so they're more like Ralph's. So because they all kind of have the same body anyway, and I'm also going to probably put the removable arm rods on him and Sam. So lots of excitement. I'll show you what I'm doing here. Oh, come on. There we go. So again, the way I cut this out is I cut it at an angle, so that way I get a little bit less backing and more of the fur or the pile on the front. And hopefully I have a piece that's just big enough to make his nose. Everything else is accounted for. Oh, and I have his nose right here. I thought I had his nose. Uh-oh. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so here's his nose, too. I have a lot of body parts. And you see, I actually had to go on to the salvage edge here, but it's not really going to matter because it's just at the very base of his neck. Nobody will ever see that. It's going to be inside of his collar. So I figured I'd save as much of this fabric as I could. Hey Amber, how's it going? No, this is Ralphie. I got Ralph done. Ralph's right there. But Ralphie's still just pieces. So I'm gonna try and finish him up this week. Then I'll probably finish Roberta. And then finish or then retrofit Mayberry and Sam. And then all that's left is Sammy. No, well, the collar was, you know, Ralph and Ralphie have collars. Those black ribbed things that are on their necks. That was what I was talking about. I have a Jalea. I need to really build her from scratch again. Let's get Shelby done. Jalea has a lot of pieces that work, but she has the biggest problem is her neck doesn't really attach to the body very well. So she's probably going to be pretty close to a complete rebuild. I might be able to salvage the arms and the body. Maybe parts of the head. I don't know. Okay. That's going to be the nose. So he doesn't have eyelids, so I don't have to worry about that. So who's the guest tonight on Philo? Two-person puppet. I mean, I hate two-person puppets. I like to keep them all self-contained. If I can help it. The biggest problem is that the Julia that I built, there's a lot of mechs involved, and half of them don't work. Actually, most of them don't work. So, I mean, it had blinking eye, or at least squinting eyes. It had a mouth that moved. It had a neck that was articulated, and none of them worked. She looks good, though. If I were to build Jalea, I think the thing I would want to do is build the robotic version of Jalea. Like all the wires like C-3PO. Got all those cut out. I mean, honestly, I can't get a second person to puppeteer most stuff, so why would I design a puppet that takes 2 people? I don't know. Hi, Cassidy. How's it going? Arms? What are you talking about, arms? Like having no total from scratch rebuild, no mechanisms, but thin eyes. Thin eyes? She's in pieces. I gotta go grab her, but I took her apart when I was building data because I was using some patterns off of her. Just never put her back together. Thin little body. If you did it where she had a green screened out arm for blackout for cost and body hang, you could make her really thin. Well, I mean, well, here we go. Okay. I don't really want to do a green screen, but okay, so here's her head. Again, this may disturb a lot of people. There's her head. Okay. Let me see if I can. There's her body. I think her arms were never actually set. I think I just, yeah, they're just pinned. A second, I got it. There's one safety pin. I'll just safety pin her again. If I have 2 safety pins, I may only have 1. Come on. There's one arm. There's her legs, too. Let's see, I have a second safety pin in here. Doesn't look like it. Okay. Here's a second safety pin. She has legs. Yeah, I hate legs, but I did make them for her. And I have legs for Mayberry, and I have legs for Sam, which makes me think I might make them for Ralph as well. But yeah, I do hate legs. All right, so come on. All right, so now she's got. There's her body. See, I know how to do this mechanism so much better now. All right, so there she is. And she's got a little, see the thin body. See what's cool about this is the way that I set it up, because she's like 4 feet tall too. Her neck would be up here, but my wrist ends up down here. So she actually can have that thin little waist and do the little dances and stuff. Let me see. And then her eyes, you can see how they just barely move. You can see them just move slightly. And then her mouth just barely moves. And that's about the extent of it. How's Tilly? Tilly's great. How are you doing? Oh no, her wig is the best thing about her. I think she looks great. Anyway, I'm real happy with the way she looks, but not real happy with the way she puppeteers. That's about the best thing she can do. Very early mechanism. This mechanism is based on the Fettig book. Get rid of her body here. If you look, see, it's got the wood ball right here to mate, although it doesn't really. There's a little trigger here that I can use to make her mouth move. And then there's a ring that works her eyes. It actually works pretty well without the body. Hi, how are you? But it really is in the, it's really in the uncanny valley. Anyway, there's Julia. I never trimmed her hair either. So now that I've disturbed everybody, I swear when I drop dead, that's the first thing the coroner's going to find is that puppet in my closet. The robot character you mentioned earlier might be something like Digit from Jim Henson Hour. Maybe, but you know what? It's, again, I think it's better just to use a human actress for Julia. But I think that, like, I would make, there's a wire version of her. She was basically a protocol droid that was put together differently. So I'd like to make her like the C-3PO in episode 1 kind of thing, but it's a pop star. I don't know. We'll see. I keep stewing on what I want to do with Melon Pool, so at least I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I mean, the body looked fine to me. Yeah, I don't know. That was the one from the movie because she wasn't in a lot, but she was in it somewhat. She was in the beginning and the very end. Okay, that's one hand. I'd also rather not do green screen with it at all. Very old school. One of the things that we always ran into with making girl puppets was the necks up being having to be so thick that they look very masculine. Just so we get our arms up inside. So that was one of the things I tried to do with Julia as well was trying to give her a really thin neck, which that mechanism kind of does. Well, that's where you go wrong already because you don't use felt on puppets, or I don't. What are you talking about? The black? You mean to make her waist thinner? All right, there's two arms. So what are you working on, Cassidy? Are you building something? Felt for the background. Oh, I see. I guess if I had a plan where I needed Julia, that would give me a reason to do it. But I'd much rather build some of the other characters like the duck. No, you build the body as a hang down, the head and the hand in it. But instead of green screen, you do it old school with blackout. Oh, maybe. I don't know. Also, that Julia, I didn't make clothes back then, so I could only find pink pants and a blue shirt. So I'd like to put her in her actual outfit, which is like a black tank top and purple pants. Maybe I'll get Lori to make it. Film higher contrast on your light balance. Put her in a bright colors or white. I don't know. It just doesn't. I mean, for what purpose? The whole reason I even entertained the idea of making a puppet for her was because of the movie, which never got done. All right. See you later. Yeah, I mean, Digit is kind of an interesting character, but I didn't like how limited he was. Like, they barely could make him do anything because he was so rigid. I'm very opinionated when it comes to this sort of stuff. Okay. There's all the and I think this is the biggest piece of the fabric I have left, and it just barely will cover this nose. So, yay me. Oh. Come on. Will that go away? Oops. Oh my gosh. See, this is what I get for even using this other camera. There's that. Okay. See, I need to make money so I can upgrade all these cameras. There we go. There we go. All right. Now to business. And the nice thing about this one is there's no mechanism in it, so it should go pretty fast. Oh, for a second there, I thought I had made two left sides, or right sides, I mean. Okay. Looks like a Cylon. Cassidy, you were the one that liked Phil Von Neuter, right? Or was that somebody else? I'm just remembering where I put all the darts in this thing. I really don't have to worry too much about making sure that they're particularly pretty darts. Because this one's right behind the eyes, and the other one's in the hairline. I think Ralphie's hair is going to be a little bit more put together than Ralph's. Ralph's is an unruly mess. The whole reason for these characters in the comic, Ralph was like he was an evil scientist, and then he got cloned, and his clone was an evil clone, or basically canceled it out. So he became a good clone. And what was fun for me was having two characters that looked the same, other than a few details like their expression, because one was always evil and one was always good or worried, and their postures were completely different. So it was ways to make them look the same but very identifiable as each other. So that's kind of one of the things I want to try and do with the puppets too, is to make them basically the same pattern but very recognizable as two different characters. Guess we'll see if I succeed. Good thing nobody will ever see this stitch because it's getting ugly. Oh, I can't remember if I turned off Wi-Fi or not. Let me see. Nope. Okay, if it glitches, I'm sorry. It should be a better feed. Just a second. Okay, I think I'm broadcasting. We'll see. I lost connection there. Usually I set up I use my Ethernet to set everything up because my computer's so slow and my Wi-Fi is so slow. But I forgot to do it. It says it's working now, so we'll see. Sorry, I'm just trying to figure out if I'm broadcasting. I don't think I am. It says it is. Well, I guess. Well, we'll see. Let me know if I'm broadcasting. This is what I get for trying to put your guys' enjoyment ahead of my building. I suppose I could build a Fauntleroy too, which is Ralph's second clone. His eviler clone. No, I think it's just amazing to have both these puppets, to be honest. I don't even know what happened to the other Ralphie puppet. I was trying to think about it because I built two of them. I built one in 2001, and that was the one that looked like he had goggles on. And then I built a standee that could go in the flying VW, and I think that one got crushed. But I don't know what happened to the original of the Ralphie puppet. It basically looked like the other Ralphie that I had, or the other Ralph that I have, that the one from 2001. This is what I get for trying to use up all my thread. Be real tight. Be real tight. Okay, just barely made it. Okay. All right. do these darts. I wonder if I should. I don't think I'm connected.